Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Very happy to meet you all. I think last month we met once and there has been a lot of progress. So it will be very interesting to have this meetup session today. First of all, very good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are living from across the globe. And thanks for attending this community meet. Let's start with the market analysis. We are seeing currently the markets are quite stable around $17,000. But if you see the overall picture of the markets, it's still looking very weak. If you're watching the market for the past 6 months, which you are, and you can see clearly there is a downward consolidation that is happening, because always when it was between 20,000 to 22,500, we were feeling like, okay, this is the kind of range that we are looking at. And probably after 22,500, it will be 24, 25. That didn't happen. And then we saw like the lower consolidation, which started to be between 19,000 to 21,000, which happened for some time. And later on, we know like, no, that lower range also didn't sustain. So now we are trading somewhere between 15,500 to 19,000. This is the range now. But still, one thing what you have to observe is that we are making a lower range every time. And whenever this lower range is going on for a long time, we are seeing new lows being made. So before it was 20,000, 19,000, 18,000, 17,500. So there, and then we finally touched even 15,500 also quite recently. So we are seeing clearly a drift in the market, and that's how bear market is. But compared to the previous bear market, what we saw in 2017-18, this bear market is much better because we didn't fall so drastically and liquidity didn't go so much dry like the way it happened last time. So in liquidity wise or in terms of the falling intensity of many of the altcoins, this time it's been much better than how cruel it was the last time. Also, market could have, sustained about $20,000 to $23,000, but that didn't happen because there is a lot of things going on in the industry, as we know. The first thing was Luna. That's where it all started. So the Luna went bankrupt. Many other companies went bankrupt. It took away the money from even retail investors also. Some of them lost their life savings. Some of them lost some of their money, everything, or it depends on person to person. But everybody had holdings of Luna and UST in their portfolio. I myself didn't have UST, but I definitely had a lot of Luna myself, because Luna was becoming a kind of token, which is quite synonymous to Ethereum or XRP or something like that, because these are very old coins and quite trustable coins. Because if I ask how many of you hold Bitcoins, everybody. Ethereum, everybody. Let me say XRP, most of them. So there are like this top 5, top 10 tokens like which all of us have. So Luna was not different. So most of them were impacted by Luna, and USD was like much more terrible because even the biggest of biggest hedge fund, family offices, everybody had invested there because they were getting 20% risk-free returns. Who wouldn't like that? So everybody were going after that, but it was a pure greed of people like to take something for granted, especially in the crypto world, like where mostly money is just coming out of thin air. I mean, like they're not backed with anything whatsoever. So this is where it all started. And once they went bankrupt, it created a lot of domino effect. Like 3AC went bankrupt, then Celsius went bankrupt. So all these are like very much into business to customer segment, like mostly retail investors were impacted because of it. Some of the institutions and pension funds, everybody were also impacted because of this one. So it was not just one category of the people who got hit, but it was everybody. It was like, for example, in case of Bernie Madoff's Ponzi scheme, it was only rich and super rich people like who got impacted from that one. Not really the common people, because they were not allowed or they couldn't really get into this fund. But here, like when we speak about crypto, it was everybody. At least this year, it was like that. Because in 2017, when I used to hear about the scams, it was mostly, the retail investors, because there was no institutional investors at that point of time, 2015, 2017. We didn't have institutional investors. We had kind of institutional investors who called themselves so, but they were not really institutional investors. It was just a group of people having money and investing. This time it became more serious, and everything went, very bad, very bad. So after Celsius went bankrupt, everybody were thinking like, okay, this is the end of the scams, and everything is going to be fine now. So bad players are going out of the market, which is good. It's like cleaning, the crypto market is cleaning itself, and it will heal itself and everything. And then we had the biggest bomb that was dropped on our head, and that was FTX. Because FTX directly impacted a lot of businesses, like including ours. Our business was already impacted because of the Luna and Celsius crisis, because a lot of our customers were trading on these platforms. It is really true that like mostly 20% of your clients will be giving you 70 to 80% of your revenues, because these are the clients like who are having good amount of money. They know you well, they trust you well, they know about your products. So these are the people like who bring majority of your revenues, and few of them got filtered out during this Luna scandal. After that, somehow we were getting fine, but Celsius was also quite heavy on us. But it was not so many people as compared to Luna, because Celsius was like very few people. But FTX was really a very bad knock, because many people didn't have an option to trade in futures on Binance. So most of them placed their money on FTX, because that was a good alternative. That was the only alternative otherwise, because we have BitMEX as an option, but hardly few people are trading on BitMEX even today. And not many of them are trading, because even when we see our trading volumes or something, like nothing is happening much. So most of them were on, FTX. More than $50,000 of our commission money, like which was there on FTX, when the news broke out, immediately I removed it. And it's good that I removed it, because the day I removed, after a few hours, everywhere it was trending on Twitter that they are not able to withdraw their money. So it was just like a thriller movie, like at the last moment we withdraw the money. Otherwise, we would have lost this $50,000 which we had on FTX account. This was the commissions that we were getting paid. So yeah, it was really unfortunate. Like at one point of time, we felt like, yes, we were smart and we could really take out the money very fast. But then we were thinking, how many of our users are having accounts on this platform? And that was quite significant, because they lost huge amount of money. Many people are not speaking in public. We are getting emails from them. Some of them are emailing, and I'm reading that one like, look, like we are not so big to help you guys to get money out of FTX, because I know people are very desperate and they want their money out of FTX. We are not a government organization, and we really cannot help you to get back your money. We are not so big. So I am sure like when this recording goes live on YouTube, like you will be watching this one. So please know that we can't help you with getting back your money from FTX, because we don't control FTX and we don't know them. We don't know them. Like we know as much as you people know about FTX. It's just an exchange like where we are trading, and that's it. So in no way like we can help you really with, because even big people have lost the money on FTX and even they can't get their money back. Celebrities have got conned by FTX. Even they can't get their money back. BCUBE is not, US government, excuse me, or some other like very important person like SEC chairman or something like for us to lobby to make this happen. It's really not in our hands. We are also very sad and deeply disturbed about the events that's been happening ever since Luna happened. More than Luna and Celsius, like FTX was really a very hard-hitting thing. But let's hope that like we will get other exchanges, and like people will trust the system and things will come back to normal. We are also seeing new trend now coming in the centralized exchange, which is proof of reserve. With all the due respect, I don't really care so much about proof of reserve, because it means nothing for me. Let me say, like, well, what is your reserves? If I ask you, you might tell, like, okay, I have a house which is worth $1 million. I have this car, I have supercars, I have this kind of asset, that kind of asset, I have lands and everything. That's fine. That's totally fine. Like that's not your asset, actually. That's a kind of like asset before liabilities. So if you include your liabilities, like, okay, how much do you have? And then you will open up your cupboard, which is full of skeleton, which means like the house is having a loan, car is on the loan, and like everything is on the loan. The clothes that you are wearing is also on the loan, like on credit card. So it doesn't make any sense to me. It's just a bullshit, like proof of reserve. It doesn't mean anything. If you have like $1 million of asset, and if you're having $5 million of liabilities, then you are minus $4 million, and it's not plus $1 million. So I don't really like, I'm not convinced about this standard, or whatever it is, like Merkle tree or whatever, every exchange is proposing this one. It doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything. You might have like 1:1 or 1:2 backed like assets as compared to the deposits that you have from the public. But it doesn't mean anything, because the proof of liability is more important than proof of asset. So until like we are able to see like proof of liability, proof of asset, then we can't really we can't really say that like something is safe, or like something is good or something is bad. We can't just tell that one. So what I'm saying to people who are watching here is, don't get carried away by this kind of buzzwords like proof of reserve and all these things, because for me it's nothing. I mean, like, it's not proof of reserve. Like, it's just proof of some numbers. That's it. Proof of liability is very, very important. So and also, like, we don't know like exactly how our money is used on exchanges, or like how they are really allocating our funds on this kind of exchanges. If they are putting in a safe vault, or if they are lending our money or borrowing against our money to get more money to trade, like how FTX and Alameda Research were doing. We don't know really. We don't have any clarity about that. But the greed is very high in this industry, which I don't understand at all, because people want to get rich quick, and they want to get rich at the cost of anybody or anything. And this is simply satanic mentality what people have, and that is really, really too much in crypto world. They don't have ethics, they don't have values. There is nothing, literally. So I think the main mindset have to change in this industry, because mindset is everything. If you have good mindset, if you have good values, if you have good vision, then I think it's good to go. I mean, like, everything will fall in place. You don't have to worry about it. But these are some of the values that is missing in this industry. So that's why we will keep seeing like scams happening from anybody or everybody. Moreover, I think like we should not have this cult culture like in anything. Like we are seeing this cult culture a lot in cryptos, especially. There's too much of cult culture. One single person or two single people or three single people having too much of power. Like, no, that's not how it is supposed to be. And now, like Elon Musk is also having this kind of power. And that is quite worrying, because it's not that someone has the power, but if one person has everything, then that won't be so good. If it is Jesus Christ, then it's fine. But if it's not something which is as holy or as pure as that, I don't think like it is going to be something nice or good, or in any way it is going to help anybody. So that's why this cult culture has to go, and the real business culture has to come back to crypto. Because crypto or like not crypto, it doesn't matter. It's a business, and you have to see business as a business. And if you're seeing business as something like for you to make money, like, no, the business will never be successful. Because, the first thing that everybody needs to understand in crypto world, especially in crypto world, is like, you are not in business to make money. You are in business because you love it. You have passion. And this is your passion, and you want to do something, and you want to bring out something. You want to see a change. If these are your values, then yes, you are an entrepreneur. If you want to make money, then don't be here, please, because it won't work. Businesses don't work that way. Money is always a byproduct of what you do. It will come on its own if you keep doing what you're doing. But if you focus only on money and like money making itself is the thing for you, then business is not the thing. Like you should try some lottery tickets or something else. You should try your luck at different places. So this is what I feel about crypto markets, and why I was telling about all these things is everybody were impacted because of this. We were doing our business properly. Everything was going on like the way we wanted. But, like we were victims of some few greedy people, and we have nothing to do with them. We don't even know them. And these people like rob everything. They roam free on the streets. They have everything. And unnecessarily, like innocent people like us, we are impacted by few people who do all these things. See, like just few people do all this bullshit, what they did. And thousands of people will suffer because of that. Like whenever we are going to, I'm speaking to a lot of venture capital firms. When I speak to them, like some of them are happy and they're doing some due diligence and asking me more questions, that is fine. But most of them, the moment I say that like we are a crypto development tools company, the moment they hear this crypto, like really they take up the topic of FTX. Like there was this very big venture capital from United States, Coleos Capital. And I was speaking to Coleos Capital person, like they invested in a lot of big companies like Airbnb, Airtable, and very, very big names. And he said like, no, we don't do in crypto. Like if you don't have any other project, like, no, like I don't want to even speak. So it has created that kind of an effect, because even on the stage, wherever we are going to any conferences, speaking to anybody, the moment crypto comes, they get into few things now. They go back to Mount Gox. They speak about that, like how they came to know about Bitcoin. But they don't think like actually they don't really think that Bitcoin is not a scam. Someone is scamming, by doing some fraudulent things. They don't see it that way. And that's my problem. Even if you try to explain to them, and they're in they're in no mood to even listen to you or your explanation. It's become like that because of few people, and that's the very sad part. I think cryptos will survive, and going forward, like things will be fine. I mean, like it's not going to be worst, but still, like the impact that it will cause will be there for a long time. Because every time when the bear market happens, every time, if it was a simple bear market, that was not a problem at all, because it's a simple bear market. Everybody knows it. Like we had a big bull market. Now we go through a bear market, and, venture capital firms would be putting more money into startups. They want that to be a scale up in the next rally. They will make money. They know it. But now, like in the scam, like many people had invested in FTX itself, like Multicoin Capital. I even wrote to Kyle, who is the CEO of Multicoin Capital. He replied to me in 3 days. Like he said, like, well, it's going on. Well, it's good. It's a good project. Like keep doing. But at the moment, like we are not in a position to make any decision, because Multicoin Capital is one of the biggest investor in FTX and also in Solana. So clearly we can see the kind of reaction that we are getting, because last year we were not hearing such things. We were approached by many people and we said no. And now like we are approaching, and even if they want, they are not in a situation. I was even in contact with Nexo Ventures. They really liked it. I was in discussion with their investment manager. I was in discussion with their head of partnership. They really liked what we are doing. But the problem was, like, now they are looking at acquisition of some C5 companies, it seems. Something similar to Nexo, like in Singapore and this place. So they said, like, yes, we are looking very actively in this space, like of acquiring a company, but not really investing. But please keep us updated, because we maybe like once we acquire, like we will be also coming back to the startup investment. They're not doing anything. They were very honest. So like there are a lot of events that is happening in, like in the crypto world now. So this is what is going on in the crypto world now currently. Like we are hearing only about bear markets, about scams, about interest rates going up. and everybody are, like expecting the interest rates to come down this time, like something like 50 basic points up. So if it's 50 basic points, like market is already expecting it. So it can be a little bit of a rally for sure. If it's like 25 basic points, yes, you will see a big pump. If you see like 75 basic points, yes, we might test this 15,500 once again. If this FTX scam was not happening, I'm 100% sure we would be around $25,000 right now on Bitcoin. If this FTX was not happening, trust me, we would be trading around $25,000 because everything was coming up very nicely. The fear from the CPI was coming out, and the markets stopped to react to any kind of CPI data or inflation data or anything as such. Everything was falling in place. But this one scam, like, it took back the whole crypto mood, like what people were feeling very optimistic, that was totally destroyed. So that's where we stand now, and let's hope like going forward, like it's going to be better than what we have now. So there are like many updates to give. This last week, we finally submitted our application form to AMF. So for DASP, so that's completed. We already received a receipt from AMF also that they have received our application, and they will be going through all the documents that we have submitted. And if they find like something is missing, or if they want more documents, then they will get back to us. And once we get that confirmation, then from that day, we need to take the counting. Like, yes, like this is the day number 1 of our submission. So it's not from our side, actually. They will have to confirm us once again. But anyway, like they have received it because they sent it from their official email ID. Like, yes, they have received our application and they will be going through now. So I think it should be fine because our application is quite strong. We have a full-time compliance officer, very experienced, worked for 96, which is one of the hedge funds like in France. So I don't see any problem, actually. We are, excuse me, we are very qualified for DASP. We have made like very good comprehensive AML CFT policy. We even took the courses to know about what is AML CFT, KYC policies, and all these things. So everything is in place, and I think it should be fine. So we are waiting for this one to finish, and we were also like said few things by the regulator that we should stop to offer all the crypto trading strategies to French citizens. But that's why we will not be able to provide any spot bar or any kind of future spot or anything to French citizens. So absolutely, we will not be able to provide any service to French citizens except TA screener or sentiment analysis. This is fine because it's not a product. It's not a trading product. So that's completely fine. But as far as trading is concerned, like, no, until we receive registration, we are not supposed to offer anything to French citizens. And also any of our communication, whether it's from BCUBE channel or from my own Twitter handle or any kind of announcement, that is not applicable to French citizens. So here afterwards, like when we post something about our product, please watch in the bracket that I have to write for everything that this is not targeted at the French citizens or French residents. So once we receive registration, yes, like then we can make many things. And we are advised not to make any kind of advertisements or any kind of promotions or ads within France. But outside of France, we can do. They don't mind about that one. But we'll not be making any advertisements in French language, but it will be in English and it will be international. We can do, for example, Belgium, Germany, or Hungary, or like Greece, or wherever we want, but we cannot do anything in France. So that's what it means. Like totally the French doors are closed for us until we get DASP registration. So once we get DASP registration, then we will be able to make market making, custodian services, and brokerage services. So in the custodian services, like if some of our customers have their own company, then they will have to do a process called as KYB, which is Know Your Business, similar to KYC, but it's for business. Like once we do KYB, then the funds that you have in your company, we will be able to manage that funds. So some amount of money, we will be placing it on a safe DeFi protocols to earn interest. Some part of the money will be used for our bots. Some of the money will be used for some other kind of strategies. So it will be quite diversified strategies. We will be, of course, working on giving different options, like where people want high risk, high returns, or medium risk or low risk. Based on the risk profile, we will be offering different kind of products. But mostly, like the products that we'll be providing will be based on returns based on stable coins. So this is what is like very friendly in regulation terms. We'll be offering more kind of products because even many B2B companies are asking for this one. If they place same amount of money in a bank, they are getting hardly 1% or 2% per year. So for them, that's not really exciting. They need to get something like 9 or 10% interest. So that's what we are aiming at. So these kind of custodian services, brokerage services, and also we are thinking of making a non-custodial market making, because currently, like if you speak with any market maker, they will ask you to send, for example, $10,000 worth of BCUBE and $10,000 worth of USDT. So you need to send both, and they create a kind of pair, and they will be, like trading themselves based on the demand and supply. So, but when you give custody of your funds to someone, like it can be anything. I mean, like they can play against you. Normally, market makers always play against the project because they want to make money. Like they don't want project to flourish so much. So this is a huge problem in this industry. So that's why we want to create a software which is non-custodial, where we just take like fees for using our software, but we don't take any other kind of fees. We don't trade against them, or we don't trade for them. We will give the software for you. You can set your, buying orders and selling orders, and how deep you want the liquidity to be, and what should be the difference between every single buy and every single sell on the order books of an exchange. You can define everything. And if you know the news, marketing news or some other kind of progression that is happening in the company, you can make it more bullish or you can make it more bearish. It's completely left to you. We just provide you the software for that one. So it's a non-custodial market making. So this is what we are thinking on. Already we are discussing a lot in the team about this one. So there'll be some innovative products like what we'll be building in this space, especially for this DASP to be very fruitful for us. And backtesting engine is finished long ago. Strategy factory is also finished. Strategy selector is also 95% finished. We are already giving our strategies to the strategy selector, and it's having an accuracy of 91%. So it's picking up very well, like very good signals. So we are very confident, but I would like to have few mean reversion strategies before that, because we need to have a different type of strategies. Also, we are, as you all know, that like we have a research and development partnership with University Paris-Saclay at Central Super Lake. So there we have some interns currently working on smart indicators of our sentiment analysis, because we have huge amount of data on sentiment analysis, and we want to build some kind of indicators based on it. We have built some basic indicators, but we would like to experiment what other best things that we can do. So we want to make a proof of concept or a MVP. If we do it ourselves, like we have to hire somebody, and we don't even know like whether we'll be successful or not, because research and development is always like that. You will never know whether you will be successful or not. If you're successful, then it will be huge. If you're not, like you, maybe there should be a different kind of like approach towards this, but you will not know what is that approach. So you will burn money a lot and a lot of time. So that's why we don't want to do that. So what we did is like we hired few students there, like who are doing that project, and we just gave them a project, like just do these things like what we are asking you to do, and we will be curious to see what kind of results you will come up with. So if they come up with like very spectacular results, then we are sure like this approach is the good approach. Then we can, spend our resources and our time on a person or like a group or like within our team. Somebody can take it up and like they can make much more scalable products out of it. So that's why we are, like currently waiting for the news from the students. Like I had a call last week with them, and the results sounds to be quite promising. But what I have given them is like a project like where they will come out with buy and sell signals based on sentiment analysis. So we are just giving the data like what we have with us, the raw data, And using this raw data, they will have to come out with a kind of product out of it. If it's successful, then it will be a kind of exogenous data, because currently we have quant data, which is like pattern recognition, and we will have technical analysis. We have like many other things in that. And we need to have mean reversion strategies also, which is like totally different from what we have now. But still, like mathematically speaking, mean reversion strategies or trend following strategies or scalp strategies or anything, they are still using the same kind of mathematical tools. So mathematically, they are the same. There is not so much of difference. If we have to speak mathematically something different, then we need to have more exogenous data. So that's why we need sentiment analysis. We need like different kind of data, like which is complementary to what we have now, and which should be like not the similar one, but quite different than what we have. So that's why we are trusting Strategy Factory only with the trend following strategies currently. But soon we will have like mean reversion strategies, plus we will have this sentiment analysis indicators, like which will also have some prediction data, which will be made as a kind of strategy. So we will mix all these things and then allow strategy selector to choose strategies from this one, which is appropriate for the current market situation. So this is how we are progressing, and things are coming up very nice, because so far like we hit like dead end only once in this project. Apart from that, like everything is going very smooth, and we always got results. I mean, like good results. We checked it, we debugged it to see like if there was some bug or like a lack of understanding, or if we did some mistake. No, we didn't get anything as such. We tried to cross-verify our results with TradingView and other kind of platforms, just to see like if we get the same results or if there is any difference. No, we are getting actually like even better results than them, and much more faster way, because the latency is like very important. Like when we speak about this kind of systems, we have like very low latency, and to like to make it like much more faster, like we have hired people, like which I will be coming to the topic a little bit later. But things look very good now as far as strategy selector and strategy factory and backtesting engine is concerned. So they're doing good. But this one, what we are building now, is for internal purposes only, which means like for us to create strategies for people and like make strategies as a bot on our platform. And this one will be later on scaled to infinite number of people. And that happens to be the product for build your own bot. So which is coming next. So this one is for only internal purpose. Next, what we go for external purpose, which is for build your own bot. And to make it from this point to that point, it won't be so difficult, because building the foundation is very important, and that takes maximum amount of time. So once you have a foundation, to tweak it to make it scalable, like it's not such a big deal. So we are doing good here, and results are very, very good. So next one, now coming to the strategies that we have on the platform. Currently, SwingBot is doing very good, and GuruBot is also doing very good. But I would like to tell a few things here, like GuruBot started actually, for people who are trading on Twitter, they know it very well. Like they were trading since February 14th, 2022. So that was the beginning of the GuruBot. And because like it was performing very well, we automated it quite late afterwards. So if we include all those results, like what we had in the past, then it's in a very tremendous profit. And nobody can say anything about that. But only when we made the automation time, it was exactly at that time when this Luna went down. And on that day, I had like three big positions. So like Luna is going to zero, or like whether it will stop, like nobody knew it. And even like I was just waiting, like, okay, like so somewhere it has to stop. I mean, I have seen many cryptos going to zero, but I've never seen $1 billion token going to zero. This is the first time it happened. Maybe I seen one token like this one, like BitConnect. Yes, BitConnect was also once upon a time $1 billion token. But anyway, like from the day one, I knew it was a Ponzi, so I wasn't so surprised. Although I was very skeptical about like USD and Luna thing, but I still felt like, okay, like they're quite big. Their ecosystem is big. I mean, like they have a lot of big community and developers building on their platform. So it's not something so easy to go down to zero. So I didn't cut my positions, which was on GuruBot. So then like it had a huge impact after that. So, but like on month basis, like after we finished that phase of this big fall, it's been doing well. And also like between February to June or something, I was more kind of like trading person, and team was like autonomous on their works. But now I'm a more CEO than a trader, because my team needs me more now, because we need to review everything. We need to have a lot of calls, lot of interviews, lot of HR work. Sometimes I have to do works like, which is not my core work, but I have to do, and because that's how it works in startups. You have to wear many hats. So it's, sometimes like I'm speaking to like partnerships, and there is some other problem like APIs are not working. So I need to find someone in that company like who deals with the technical side thing. And then there will be other things like how much will be our sharing of profits, and like what kind of basis, whether they will pay for existing clients or whether we have to sign up new clients for them. So there will be a lot of things. And once we get into it, it's like a rabbit hole. Like we keep going, like it goes on for days. Or sometimes we feel like it's just few hours, and no, it's not few hours. Sometimes it's like whole day or like few days. And we agree on everything, and we will ask them to send a contract, because without a contract, how do you trust anybody? You can't trust anybody like without a contract. And they will take like few days to send the contract. Either they will write the letters of the names wrongly, or they will put a designation wrong, and we will have to say that like, hey, look, like I'm the president, like I'm the CEO of the company, like you have to make this perfect. Then they will have to go back and do all these things. So it always happens. So when it is happening like that, like I prefer not to trade, because my trading style is a bit different. I trade like when I'm sitting in front of computer, like whatever trades that I'm adding, which means like I observed it and I know what I'm doing. Otherwise, randomly, I don't add trades. And I add trades like only in standard tokens. Like I don't add trades like in some kind of shit coins or something like that. If I'm adding something like that, then there should be a very strong reason behind it, like why I bought that. Probably I saw something on the sentiment side. Probably I see something announcement coming very closer, or probably they are doing something with Binance ecosystem, or like they are, like linking to other kind of blockchain. There should be something, and I have a kind of my own metrics like to understand and to take an action based on those news that we have. So that's why it's like that. But I mean, like if you are seeing now, like it's doing good, like so anybody except French citizens can surely like buy it, and you will not be disappointed. And Swingbot is also doing very good. I mean, both long only and long and short. It's doing extremely good. And let me tell you, this market to make money is very difficult and very tough. Trust me, take it from me, it's very difficult and very tough. First of all, like you have huge variations in the volumes every day, because some days like when it's completely green, like volumes are coming up nicely. Some days like when it's red, like volumes are really very bad. And without volumes, like it's very dangerous to trade. Sometimes we take positions, but from nowhere, like something hits us. And this is really not in our hands. So, but despite all these things, it's giving positive return. Especially the long only bot has never gone to a negative territory so far since its inception. And this is not a back-tested bot. It's a live trading bot. It's a live trading strategy that is going on the market currently. So it's extremely good. It's completely functional, and I'm really, really very happy with that. Especially our quant, Mr. Rubinson, like he's doing a great job at this one, because he is almost up all the time, and he doesn't sleep at all. He's just seeing the machine and reading the signal, and then seeing and thinking like whether I should really add this signal or I should not. So it's a very good human assisted AI strategy, because strategy is given by AI, but it's a human who is making analysis on whether this trade has to be done or not. Exactly the same thing what they do in hedge fund. Exactly the same thing. So this model has proven to be successful, because that's doing very good. And if something is doing very good, then that's a proof to you like, yes, this is doing good. So I would like, close my eyes and recommend it to anybody and to everybody, like to use this one, because it's proven itself in the hardest market that it can give you positive returns. That is the biggest proof. There cannot be much more bigger proof than that, because this is no story. This is not shilling. This is nothing. I'm just speaking based on the results, based on the facts, what we have, what is being recorded on the trading, on trading account. So these products are good. I mean, like Strategy Factory will make it even much more better than this one. So I think strategies are fine, and we will be rolling out good strategies, much more better strategies, like going forward, new strategies in a new approach. That's what I mean. Better strategy means like paired trading strategy and bundled strategy, relative value trading, so many other kind of things that we can make. That we will be bringing it up once we finish all these things. New website is next subject is about the new website. It's coming up very nicely. Yesterday we had a demo, very, very beautiful website. It's very crisp, the colorful. It's very fast at the same time, because the current website, if you have seen it, like sometimes it can be lagging a little bit, like when you come from one page to another page. We have seen all these things and we identified the issues, like why it is like that. And now, like we will be having everything on AWS. So things will be like much more faster and much more smoother. And you will be really able to see the difference. Like once you will be able to navigate in the new website. We're trying to, like launch it in January. We're trying our best, because what we thought about this website was something different than what it is. We were thinking like, okay, it will be a simple website, like, so we can do it very fast, but like, no, this is very complicated and very sophisticated website, because we have a portfolio management tool where you can integrate your several exchanges and watch everything on one single platform. And every exchange has a different kind of API settings and rules, and they don't work in the same way like how Binance works. And then we worked a lot on FTX exchange to integration of these tools and everything. And like now the exchange itself doesn't exist. Like it was a very big pain. We worked for nearly like 20-25 days only on FTX, because their API is quite different from other API. We can see like Bitget is also quite different. Huobi is also quite different. Binance and Kraken, they're quite similar, like in the developer setup. But FTX was very different. But we didn't have any problems with this FTX API when we were trading with them. It was okay. It was good. But it needed a different kind of approach on our platform. We worked for 25 days, and like finally, when we come to know like this 25 days is completely wasted, it was really very painful. So we had to remove all these elements from the website now, because this exchange doesn't exist anymore. And we had to add like other exchanges that we were having in the mind. And also to make this kind of websites, like which is having staking and like with a new way of representing all the products on the website and marketplace with a new approach, with more customization and everything. It was not so easy at all. It was quite hard, because normally in IT works, until you really do it, you will not know how difficult or complicated it is. Initially, it might feel you like, oh yeah, like sure, you can do it. So that's why we are taking a bit more time, because we don't want to have a kind of like buggy website. We want to have like, first, we want to launch something which a limited feature. I mean, like limited feature means what we have on the current website, plus few more feature also. But these features I'm calling as limited version or version 1. In the version 2, we will have like many tools. Like, I mean, like getting notification on your web browser or the dashboard, like when the new trade is opened, when the trade is closed, PNL, everything. I mean, like it will be coming in a form of notification. So we have planned a lot of things which will be coming, and that's why we want to release it like on step-by-step basis. Like a little bit will come, and afterwards more things will come, and we will keep adding more and more features. So we are adding all the features which is there in the current website, all the websites that people asked us to put during the interview times of UX UI design. And we are putting some more things which people didn't ask, but we feel that like, it's important and people will enjoy it if it is there on the website. So there is everything, like coming up on the website, but we will launch it step by step. But it's really cool and it's super amazing. We really love it. So This month, we hired a compliance officer, and that's why we were able to make the application form to DASP. So and from now onwards, like we don't have to worry about any regulators or something, because when we have a full-time compliance officer, they will take care of everything, discussing with the regulator, or doing every kind of conversation with the regulator. And the regulator put us on the blacklist a few months ago because we didn't have DASP, but we were offering the services to French citizens. And now we said like, yes, like now we are not offering anything. So please remove us from this blacklist. And they asked us to make a letter, and we will be making it, and then they will be putting us out of that one. So that's why for everything we needed a compliance officer. And to find a compliance officer, it was not so easy, because we were finding either very senior candidates who are like head of compliance or something, who were asking for 120,000 euros per year, which is too big. Or like we were finding someone like who is very junior, but they don't know what is like CFT policy, what is anti-money laundering, and they didn't know much about crypto. It's not a prerequisite. You don't need to know crypto to be a compliance officer. But the problem is like when you need a CO for certain kind of products that you have, for example, custodian service or market making. Market making, even in stock market terms, it can be explained. But when you have to understand like, for example, BCUBE will not deal with privacy coins. This is what we have said in the application form to AMF. So if someone wants to buy Monero or like Dash or Zcash, like, no, we can't help you with that one. We don't do brokerage with privacy coins. This is our policy. We don't deal with these things because we don't know how these things works, and we don't want to get into trouble, That's why we want to stay away from any kind of controversial things or any kind of troubles. So we don't deal with privacy coins whatsoever. So if I have to explain these things to a compliance officer, then a little bit basic knowledge is necessary. And everyone whom I met in the past, like they were asking for different things. And then there were like regulations which was changed few times in the past few months. And we had to find someone like who fits well into this kind of, profile. So it was a really, really very big challenge for us to find a good compliance officer. And we are very helpful that we have found someone like who is very smart, who is very good, very hardworking, who will be able to, get us the DASP regulation without any problems. So that's why we took time. But anyway, like now it's done. And yes, we are very happy about this particular thing. And then like we are currently hiring a DevOps who will be joining the company like in January, because DevOps is extremely important. We have, all the products that we are building needs to be low latency, highly scalable. For these things, of course, like you will need a DevOps, and especially like execution engine can become much more faster, much more scalable. Like when we are on AWS, it's the same like if we are speaking about market making also, because when we do market making software, then you need to have like very low latency for the trades that you will be executing. So for that also, like you will need AWS kind of infrastructure, and some of the AI models that we have is compatible very well with AWS. Like you cannot have Heroku to have this kind of AI based models. Like our sentiment analysis engine also is using reinforcement learning. So this kind of reinforcement learning technology cannot run on Heroku. You will really need AWS. So we are hiring someone like who's very experienced in AWS and also experienced in cost optimization to bring down our bills. Very good at architecture, making the architecture for the entire cloud system. So it's like a cloud engineer, DevOps, site reliability engineer. It's going on very good. Like we have like 3 to 4 very good profiles, and we will be making a decision by end of next week, like who will be joining BCUBE. So this is about our new hire, and we were supposed to hire one more quant who was very good quant and who was supposed to join us, like from Monday, but he will not be joining because I think he got a bit scared about this FTX when it happened. He's coming from traditional stock market background. And he said like, it looks a bit risky to me. Like cryptos. So I will not be able to join right now, but like we will see how it evolves in the future. So that's why the quant candidate whom we had to hire, like will not be hiring because he didn't sign the contract. And yeah, I mean, like people are scared really. I understand them, like, because if they don't know like this market, then they will be very suspicious about how this industry will work and everything. That's what I'm saying. Like really, these events had a huge impact on us, like in every way, because it was like in terms for business development, or like in terms of like scaling or customers, like in every way, like FTX was a very, very huge impact. Like now, even anyone who wants to join the company, like if you say crypto company, they speak about FTX or they speak about some scam. And before, like I was pitching more about the company, more about the vision of the company and our values, what we do, what is our business model, how do we make money, these kind of things. We used to have discussion. But now it's more about like I have to sell very hard myself, like we are not scams, or like we are not belonging to those kind of people what they read in the newspaper. So it's very difficult that you have to prove in this way during any kind of interview calls, and not really like speak about something which is very relevant to what you do. So that's how it is now. I don't know, like in the previous scams also, I think it was similar to this. But now the adoption was huge. Everybody knew what is cryptocurrency. So everyone is speaking about that so much. So finally, like there will be change in the business model, as everybody knows. When we have the new website, there'll be only 3 types of subscription-based business, which is 19 euros, 49 euros, and 99 euros. There will be no restrictions on bots. You can have how much ever bots you want, but there will be restriction only in terms of trading volumes. Like if you want higher trading volumes, like you will have to go for higher plans. And there will be restriction in terms of like how many times you can backtest any strategy. Like if you want to backtest like once or twice or 20 times or unlimited times or something. And probably with the new website, we might have to stop this completely free concept with the staking thing. That will be going away completely, because it's not viable, especially in this market situation. Because how do you even get revenues? I mean, like you have to get revenues. You have to get, money. Otherwise, you're not making any money. And this is not in the interest of a company, or it is not in the interest of the project. We will give like huge discounts. Like, for example, people who are in staking tier 5, like they will get 95% discount on the plans that they select. So if they're selecting something like 20 euros plan, then they are getting something like, 95% means they're almost paying 1 euro or something. It's nothing, but still there has to be some money which is coming in. Even for venture capitals, we can say how many paying users are there, because they don't understand this staking kind of a thing. It's very difficult for them to understand. So we have to show like paying users and how many people are there, how many active users daily we have on monthly basis. So this era of free bots will be completely going away. I made research on several other platforms like Krill or someone like that. Like even they are asking to stake like $100,000 worth of their tokens, like to get 95% discount. And we are no different from them. I mean, like we are having much better scheme and like much better things, like in every way. Once we launch our own, build your own AI ML bot, it will be a game changer in this industry. So nobody else can do what we are doing, because we are so advanced in that. We have researched on this AI ML topic for so many years, and we have like a secret sauce, which is our optimization tool. And that secret sauce, no one can steal it from us. And this is the very big unfair advantage that we have over others. And this is what we are speaking to VCs also, like anybody, any VC, like if they are also watching this video or something, like be free to contact us, and like we are ready to give you a demo on that one, just to show you like how different it is and how it works. I mean, like on the interface, we have this product for internalization, which will give you a fair idea about how it will work for people. So it's really a very miraculous product, which has never been built. So that's why I'm having no doubt like we will be like able to sell this one like hotcakes, like going to every trader, because other platforms don't have this. And there is no bot without this technology. Like you can have a good bot, but that bot will not work forever. Like after a few months, like it will again fall back and it will not be working anymore. If a bot has to work forever, like you have to optimize it to the current market condition, and that's what exactly we do. That's why we really have like a technological advantage over anybody else. So for that reason, and for scaling and for everything else, like given the situation, this completely free for staking will be going away completely with the launch of new website. So everything will become paid. And once we make this new website now, then we will be starting with marketing, very strong marketing. We'll be targeting everything on email marketing. We'll be going on social media marketing, especially on Twitter, where more number of, crypto people are there. And I know some of our competitors have been very successful on Twitter by making advertisements, and they have a lot of users because of Twitter. So we will also go down the same path like as that of our competitors, because there are some tools like SEMrush. These are like very good tools to know like what kind of keywords your competitors are using, where exactly they are getting traffic from, how exactly they are executing these things. So we will do the same thing. And apart from that, we have several other marketing agencies. Just to tell you that. So they can also do these kind of promotions for us, and all other kind of marketing, like what they think is right for our type of business, Web3 marketing or anything like that. So we will go full on once we get this. And once we get DASP registration, then we will completely make this kind of advertisements and everything within France also, because we have a lot of customers from France. That's really true, because we were initially, we are a French company and we were based there since a long time. So initially the clients who came from Central University or from there or like from someone else, they were all coming because like we are in France and they could speak to us. So these were the first pioneers like who came. So that's why we are having a lot of French customers. We will not lose them. We will get to some very good influencers on like on YouTube and everything, only for France, like to target them. So then we will be good even there also. So until we get DASP, like we will not speak about the products to any French citizen or French resident or doing anything in France. So France is closed for us currently. Once we get DASP, we will reactivate that plan. So apart from that, rest of the world, yes, it's good. Anyway, we have a lot of world left apart from France. It's not everything. So we will try to find opportunities and not focus on the problems. So problems are always there. And if we keep thinking about the problems, then we see only problems. And we have to think about the solution. And that's exactly what we are doing at this point of time. The situation is very difficult because of the market sentiments and all these scams and the lost opportunities, the lost clients, the lost funds, the lost trading volumes. That's all true. But we are doing the best what we can, and we will take this company forward positively and do everything possible to make everything happen. So that's it from my side, and I will take a few questions if you have. Please type your question if you have something. There was a tweet about new third-party strategies. Anything on that? Yes, currently we are currently integrating those strategies on our platform. We have got their historical data. We're a bit testing it on the development environment just to see if the signals are received properly and if we can trust those signals. And some trial is going on. But yeah, like it is there already on development environment. We will push it to production as soon as possible. Regarding the free staking that now will be paid, will the tier levels change? No, tier levels are not going to change. It is going to be how it is now. But once it moves up a little bit, then we will bring it down. But we will not make it more painful for anybody in the bear market. We have that in mind. What about the VC investment at Monstropoly? That's a good question, because they are not listing it, but they are giving us the project update. I mean, like, they are doing good progress. So our investments are just stuck there. So we cannot liquidate our investment, and it's not getting listed also. But we hope, like, like, when it's the right time, they will be, coming out with their token listing. I think, like, they are waiting for a little bit like 2024 for the markets to get fine. And in the next market boom, like, again, metaverse, NFT, Web3, everything will have a big boom. So during those times, they might list it, and we might have a very good exit. How is the bot being developed, Polygon going on? It's going on. As I said, like, it's more about research, this particular topic. It's not a straightforward product, because we need to understand blockchain a lot to make this one. Sometimes we have to be very fast, because there are these kind of bots that will make problems to us. On Polygon, there is not that kind of direct bots that will impact us, but there are other type of issues that we are seeing currently. So that's why we are seeing, like, how to dodge them and how to make it more profitable. Also, there is one more concern that if you trade with certain tokens, yes, there is a bit of liquidity, but some other kind of token, the path that we have to take, which is the most profitable path, but that will have a huge slippage. For example, if we have to swap REN with ROSE with, like something like BTC and like ETH, this will be the path which is having the highest profitability. So when we actually try it, because this is the system which we have built, like, I mean, AI system to see which cyclic arbitrage will give us the most profit. So it's very theoretical. I mean, like, when you really make your money move this circle, it's not giving the same kind of theoretical profits. It's because, like, in some of the pairs, there is not so much of liquidity for you to go around to make that kind of profit. So that's why we are seeing, like, okay, how to get those, like, those values, which is not just theoretical, but which is practical also. So that's why we are trying to see, like, in a very liquid coins, by selecting few liquid coins and seeing, like, how this works. We are also, like, now trying to, like, look for quants, because the current one is not joining. So we are looking for other quants. If this quant has some kind of blockchain knowledge, then that will be helpful, because this work can be done with only that person who has a bit of blockchain knowledge, or good amount of blockchain knowledge, with data science mindset. So that's the kind of profile we are looking at currently. You're welcome, Diego. I've been hacked in MetaMask and I lost money. Should I be afraid about the stake at BCUBE? Well, normally, I don't know, like, because I have never hacked anyone's wallet, like, in my life. But what I can tell you is, like, based on my experience, hackers normally, they just hack your, MetaMask, and whatever is there, they will take that money and they will go away. They don't come back again and again. They are not like a repeated customer. They're just like a one-time customer. They come, they shop, they go. That's it. They don't come back again. Because even one of my very good friend, like, here in my city, he was also scammed in the same way. And he was very scared, like, what happens, like, if the scammer will take his BQ when he's unstaking it and keeping it somewhere else safely. because he brought his new, what is that, Ledger wallet. So he did it, but there was no hacker at that point of time. So they just come, they steal and go. So you don't have to worry about your staking, I think. But if you're still worried about it, like probably you can change the wallet, or you can try even Coinbase wallet, because we support even Coinbase wallet also, apart from being supporting MetaMask. There is another big news going on in the market, like MetaMask is tracking people and like what they're doing, and they have all the information and everything. So people are going for other kind of wallets. For me, it doesn't sound practical, because you can keep running. I mean, like if you don't like this, you can go to something else. But government can, like go after even that another wallet also today or tomorrow. Because today it is MetaMask, tomorrow it can be Coinbase wallet, day after tomorrow, like it can be something else. So sooner or later, like most of the wallets will be, like under the government scrutiny. Block wallet is a very good for privacy. Do your own research and security. Okay. Yeah, I've heard of Block wallet. I know about that. And Trust wallet is also good. It belongs to Binance, and it's quite decentralized. It's good wallet also. It's not about the wallet actually, because most of the wallets are good. I mean, like MetaMask is also very good. Like it's been so old. But things can happen. I mean, like, sometimes we can share our details with a scammer, knowingly or unknowingly, we don't know. Things can go wrong. But yeah. Any more questions? When BCUBE hits $100, will you host a massive party for us? Of course, without a doubt. I'm honestly telling you something now on records. Okay, you can keep it as a proof, like for the future. I have far less BCUBE tokens coming from my company than you people. You know why? Because team is having 10% tokens totally, like which is like in 50 million tokens, 5 million is for the team. There's 5 million tokens. Out of this, 1.5 to 2 million is for the current and the future employees. It's like, for example, like in other companies, they give stock options. We are not doing stock options. We are giving the bonus, and we are giving like a token kind of an option for our, employees. So they have to stay in the company for a certain period of time, and they will have to finish certain milestones within the dates. So if they do it, they will get the bonus in BCUBE. So we as a founder, like we have far less token than the people. And moreover, like we have never ever claimed our tokens, like, and we will not do it also. We have never claimed the token. Anybody can see it from the smart contract. Even I'm very proud to say that, like, even our advisors who are on the white paper, nobody have sold their tokens. Nobody have them. So it's no advisors or no team, like nobody have claimed, and nobody have, I mean, like advisors have claimed, they got their token. We have sent them to their wallet based on the vesting, like 6 months was there. And then we sent the first one, second one, third one, and fourth one. But a team as such, like me, Erwan, or Imre, or like nobody, like we haven't got any tokens as of now. Even for the employees also, it's like they have the tokens, which means we write it on the paper, but they don't have it in the wallet. And some of our employees bought the BCUBE tokens from Uniswap directly, because they are making investment, because they are insider people and they know how we do the things and what's going on. So they have bought it on their own. Otherwise, from the company, they haven't got it yet, because it's all under vesting. Really excited to hear you are in talks with Nexa about a potential startup investment in BCUBE.ai. Would love it. Someone comes from the ones. They go back to startup funding. Yeah, it would be really nice. if they come back. Because even I'm openly saying, because this was a discussion which was going on and it's finished, but I'm in good terms with Nexo management. They know me well and I know them also. They're nice guys. I mean, like, at least I will not take the responsibility of my words. Like, I don't know how nice they are, but as far as I was talking to them and like what information they shared with me, like, okay, like they were giving all the information, and they were just doing their work. That's it. That's what I meant. I didn't mean to say like now people have to put their money on Nexo. Like, I don't, I'm not saying that. Before, like, our companies, some of the money like was on Nexo, but like when we heard like Luna going down, that was the day we pulled out everything. Like, we're keeping safely in the bank. We don't have any investments in any crypto, be it Bitcoin or Ethereum or something. Like, no, our entire reserves is in euros and it is in bank account. So we don't have any investment. We don't have any loans. We don't have any exposure. We have just $50,000 exposure to Monstropoly. Apart from that, we don't have any other exposures to any crypto whatsoever. Can someone change their wallet address in BCube? Yes, it's possible, I think. Please get in touch with support. Like, they will be able to answer this specific question, because I'm not so much well-versed about this wallet side of technicality, but I think it should be possible. I hope Euro won't rug pull on us. Let's keep finger crossed. Like, these days, you can't trust anybody. You see, like, even we can doubt Euro, we can doubt dollar, we can literally doubt everything and everybody. But that's a good thing. Who do you think has a chance winning this year's snowman building competition? I think it's Lord Giorgio. I think they mean changing wallet address for unstaking. Like, no, that's not possible. Like, on which wallet you have staked, from that same wallet, like, it has to come out. It's like it doesn't work like we drink the water and someone else pees for us. Like, no, we have to drink, we have to pee. Like, like, that doesn't work. Like, because if that was the case, then any hacker could come on the platform and he could rob your BCube tokens, without your knowledge. It doesn't work that way. You do one thing, like, if you feel your wallet is compromised, just like leave it for a few days. Don't do anything in that one. After like a month or so, or like 1 or 2 months, like, then withdraw all the BCube tokens and immediately send it to some other decentralized wallet immediately. You should have all the gas fees and everything ready, and it should immediately, like, passed on to the another wallet. In this way, you will be safe, because I have seen someone doing it in my own city when they bought BCube tokens and when their wallet was compromised. But I think it was fine with them. What happened after DASP? I made one particular topic on a talk on that one, which you'll be able to see during the recording. Any other question, guys? Okay, if there is no question, then let's end it here, and let's see. We'll not be making any more, like monthly or bi-monthly sessions this year. We will be doing it only next year, because this is the last month in this year. Don't get scared. So we'll be doing it in January. We will see everybody, and hopefully, like, next time when I'm making in January, like, we will have some news about the website launch, or probably we might have launched already, or some things might have happened. There'll be more news, like, as we are going. Things are getting very interesting now, and yeah, I mean, like, all these products coming live. It was always my dream to have these things on the platform. The journey was like very, like, up and down. I mean, like, seeing a bull market, bear markets, scam markets, all types of markets. Whatever happens, like, one thing is true, that people can steal anything from us. They can steal our money, they can steal our everything. But what BCube team will never lose is its courage to move forward and to do something. And we're not scared or afraid of anything. We want to really impact. We want to create that kind of impact on people's life, which has not happened so far in this trading industry. And many people actually take trading industry like in a very simple way, but no, everybody forgets that it's because of people like us, like this big trading is going on, or like this liquidity or volumes are happening on big exchanges. Because if there is no trading, just tell me, like, if trading is not happening on big exchanges, like how these exchanges will make money? These exchanges becomes VC because they have money, and this money is coming from their brokerage, and brokerage is being given by traders like you and me. So they cannot look upon traders as like, okay, it's not a blockchain, or it's not like a layer 2 scaling, layer 3 scaling. Look, let me be very honest. There are more number of blockchains than actual number of users now in the market. So many blockchains. We don't need so many blockchains. It's just nonsense. We don't need so many blockchains. It's like having new car companies, There is Ford, there is Honda, there is Renault, there is Citroen, there is BMW, there is Audi, Volkswagen, or anything. And later on, we didn't see any new car companies coming because there is no need or necessity for any new companies to come. Something newly came, which was revolutionary, was Tesla, because it's a battery car. That was something new. That was very different from the rest of the group. But until we don't see such things on blockchain, it's really of no use, because this Aptos, quite recently, it got listed on Binance also. They're claiming everything on the paper. Everything on the paper. But even in the testnet, the results, what I am saying, it's like much more inferior than even Ethereum. Forget about other blockchains. I will not even speak about the fast ones. They're much more inferior than Ethereum, having almost no users. Imagine if you have like 50,000 transactions per day, like how slow this blockchain will be. And for this one, you really need to build a blockchain. You really need all this kind of hype. Why? It's not necessary. It's just foolish thing. It's just useless thing to have more blockchains than actual number of users. But if you come up with a social trading platform like us, lots of people will come. If you create a kind of technology like where your trading strategies will not be obsolete after some time, because we have seen this problem with our own platform. We developed strategies which was working for some time, and afterwards it was going through decay, and like then we had to come out with new thing. We have seen it. It's a real problem. It's not just a problem here, but it's a problem on all the social media, trading platform companies. And so everybody is seeing the problems, and the only way they are trying to fix is like getting a new strategy. But that is not a fix, because we did it and we know it. It's not a fix. The fix is in technology. The fix is in bringing something that fixes the problem to the core. It's like putting several nails on the coffin. You have to completely close the coffin. Otherwise, hands or legs or something will come out. Or there will be some other kind of, like fat dog, like which is just waiting for you outside, like barking at you, like to open that. It's not going to work that way. So that's why we are bringing that kind of tool which optimizes your strategy on autopilot using state-of-the-art AI and ML technology. So that is something revolutionary, and people need to take these things into consideration. So that's why it's not a very simple thing, what we are building, although it might look the same like everybody else. But if they dig a little bit more deeper into it, then they will get like, wow, this is something different. This is something what industry needed, because this industry stinks. The moment you say bot to somebody, they will be like, it's a scam. Why? Bots are not the scam, but how it was built, how it was managed, and the lack of technology made it look like a scam. And that's exactly the problem we are addressing. And if we address this kind of problems, thousands and thousands of people will have passive income. And if they have passive income, like more and more number of users will come. This will result in billions and billions of dollars of trading transactions on exchanges, which brings a lot of liquidity to them, a lot of fees to them, a lot of money to them. It's a win-win situation. So that's why the basics of crypto is trading. Let me be very honest. If there was blockchain technology without the crypto element, nobody would be interested in blockchain. Nobody would be. Why will they why they will be even excited about it? The moment you speak about blockchain, you are speaking about Bitcoin at the first place. You speak about Bitcoin first, and then you go to the blockchain. topic. I've never seen anybody, like even the best of the best cryptographers I met in some conferences. They all started with Bitcoin and what Satoshi Nakamoto was saying or solving the problem of double spending. And that's the problem what Bitcoin solved, the problem of double spending. So without this crypto element, blockchain wouldn't be so popular like how it is today. It's because of that crypto element, because of that financial element, because of that trading element, blockchain is what it is today. And even if there was only crypto and no blockchain, like probably it would have worked. But if there was blockchain, but there was no crypto element, I don't think the adoption would have happened anywhere close to what it is today. So yeah, this is my perspective. And I really hope like everybody sees it in the same way. We are creating something amazing, super cool. And what we are creating is like what people need, what people want. And we're not creating some trash, like what people are not ready to pay for it. We are creating something like what people are ready to pay for it. And it makes difference in their life, which has a huge impact in the industry, all these 3 points together. So that's exactly what we are building. So we will keep building with no disturbance whatsoever happens. Like we will keep building and we will try to market the product. We will go ahead. If you guys have like any personal contacts to any of the venture capital companies like who have invested in similar companies like us or fintech companies, I don't want like a name and email or something because I can find it myself on internet. I can write a script. I can ask Erwan to write a script on Python to get me, you know, like all the VC's email address or something. But if you know them personally, then that would be making huge difference. I'm also having a lot of friends like whose startups were invested by several VCs. It's a very shame, like I have to say this publicly. My friend's startup was invested by Alameda Research, and he was giving me an intro very soon. And just like 3 days before this went bust. And afterwards, like he was like, okay, like it got finished. And the project name is Router Protocol. You can have a look at that. It's a very big project on DeFi, and he's my childhood friend. So Router Protocol got money from Alameda Research, Coinbase Ventures, everybody. So he's my childhood friend and like very good friend of mine. And he was like, my goodness, you asked me about Alameda and look, they are no more now, like whom you want to speak with. Coinbase Ventures has never invested in our type of project. Their preference is something different. I know it, so I will not contact them. But the other players are there, like who might be interested in our thing. Like I'm contacting them. So if you know, like, or in your contact, someone knows directly some venture capitals, so just write to us, and we would like to have a chat with them. So that's it, guys, from our side. As always, like it was great talking to you. I wish like I had so much time like before to make much more frequently these webinars to speak about the markets and different aspects. We having like too much of works. Normally like Saturdays and Sundays we are using to organize the weeks from Monday to Friday. And there are always some things to do on weekends, like making an Excel sheet, making the, like financial projections, seeing the financial situation, especially in these kind of things, where to cut down the cost. There's a lot of work like we need to do even during the weekends. And these works, like what I am saying, it looks very easy and simple. But when you sit in front of the computer, especially when you're playing with the Excel, there is always something new that comes up on your mind and you keep doing, and like it will take hours together. So that's why it takes a lot of time, and I don't have so much of time these days. That's why you might have seen like my tweet frequency is quite abrupt. Some days I tweet a lot because I'm having like a little bit more time for this one. But sometimes I tweet very less because I have just got up like from the bed, like very early in the morning. I'm sitting in front of the computer. That's it. Like I'm not able to do anything else besides that. So guys, anyway, like thanks for your love, patience, and support. Let it be like that on us, like in these testing times. We will deliver something amazing in this one. We have not stopped to build anything. Nothing has changed. No plan has changed. We are keeping up all the promises that we have made. We will deliver everything what we have promised. This is what BCUBE stands for. We stand for what we promise for and what we deliver. And that we will never go back on our words. We are doing everything honestly, sincerely, being completely transparent with everybody. Thank you so much, guys. You're amazing. And because of you, BCUBE is there. and BCUBE will always deliver great products to you in return for that. And we are very thankful and grateful for our community. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Have a nice weekend. Bye-bye. Bye.